It's better like this? Okay, so good morning everyone. My name is Jeremiás Balogh. I am from Hungary, from the Corvinus University of Budapest. It's the main economics university in the capital city and in the country, and I'm working for the Institute of Sustainable Development and the Department of Agriculture Economics there. So my research focus on climate change and agriculture, a bit of wine industry and climate change and the interrelation of this process. Yeah. So, sorry. Okay, so my presentation, the structure of my presentation, as usual, I will talk a bit about the motivation of the research, literature, some facts about literature on natural wines, and I also share with you some methodological issues, the previous preliminary results of the research, and the conclusions. Sometimes it works. Okay, so natural wines. I don't know you have many natural wine industry in Spain, but in Hungary it's just started in a few years ago, and our main research is a part of a bigger research conducted in European wine producing countries. So in this research, Spain, Italy, France, and Hungary was included, and this research is conducted by the Burgundy School of Business in France and in collaboration with the European Association of Wine Economists. So to define the natural wine, we have many problems if we try to define it, because however, natural wine has increasing attention by the consumers who care of sustainability and clean product. But in the European Union, we don't have a legally accepted definition of the natural wine. So some countries introduce some rules, but it's changing country by country. And it's also interesting to analyze the economic aspects of the natural wine production, why the producers choose to enter to this small market, and what are the success factors, and so on. And on the consumer side, we can find some literature on natural wines, but on the producer side, so it is more rare. So that's why we chosen this topic, and especially in Hungary, the smaller wine producers choose to enter to meet this market, but also there are some big producers who just producing traditional wines and natural wines as well. Okay, so yes, so the literature says that conscious and responsible wine consumers prefer to buy organic, biodynamic, or natural wines, but there is a lack of clear definition on the natural wines. So probably in the future, in the EU, they should create a new regulation on this specific product. And it's difficult to capture the boundaries of natural wines. So it's wines made without additives and sulfur dioxide, handmade, and there are some characteristics based on the literature, but no legal definition. So if you put the the label of natural wines, it's just up to you. So I think only in France they regulate how can they be natural wine producers and how can they put the label. In other countries you can put it, but it's not obviously means that it's 100% natural, or there are some restrictions or differences, the natural wines in Spain and Italy and so on. Okay, yes, and there is an application called Resin in France and in Europe, and we found more than 3,600 wine producers registered on this application who producing natural wines as well. Okay, so my research focused mostly on the Hungarian wine, natural wine producers and their characteristics, and also the personal motivation of the winemakers, why they choose to produce natural wines, what was the personal and industrial motivation behind this. And to compare the differences between the traditional and natural wine producers, so non-natural wine producers is indicated as NNW, and natural wines as natural wine NW. Okay, yes, so the survey is conducted in collaboration with Burgundy School of Business and European Association of Wine Economists, and it was a big database. We used more than 3,000 winemakers. The contact list is more than 3,000 winemakers located in France, Germany, Hungary, Italy, Portugal, and Spain. And the survey was conducted in 2023, summer 2023. I was responsible for the Hungarian survey and samples, so I distributed the survey more than 500 contacts, but finally I received only 88 valid answers from wine producers, and of this sample, about 50%, 51% was natural wine producers, or wine producers who produce natural wines as well. Yes, just some words about Hungary. So the Hungarian wine industry is not so big. It's around 60,000 hectares, located everywhere in the country, so in northern parts, southern parts. So we produce around 1% of the global wines, and also we export a bit. But in the last years, we also recorded some decline in terms of consumption and production as well. So here you can see the decline of the consumption, especially new generation don't really want to drink wine in Europe, so unfortunately, or not as much as before. Okay. Yes, also in Hungary, the most popular drink is beer. So as you can see here, the beer consumption is much more higher than wine. And also there are some hard seltzers, cider, and other alcoholic products. But it's a bit increasing. They expect some increase in the future of consumption. Yes. Yes, so wine is around 30% of the total alcoholic beverage consumption in Hungary. Spirits and beer sometimes are more popular, or mixed products of spirits and the wine, or cider, or sparkling wine. Okay. So these are the summary statistics of our survey. And these are the components who measure the motivation behind the natural wine producers. So the most important component was the personal conviction in the environment. So the wine producers who care of the nature, or they want to be environmentally friendly, they more willing to produce natural wines. And also they want to drink natural wines as well. So the producer who want to drink natural wine, they're more committed to produce natural wines. Also there was another motivation factor that create alternatives to standardized wines, so to be more environmentally friendly and more sustainable, and sometimes doing something new within the traditional wine production. And interestingly, to looking for better market chance was not so important for this kind of wine producers. Yes, so it's a 1 to 5 scale survey. So 1 denotes strongly disagree with these notions, and 5 is strongly agree. So to be closer to 5, we can say they are more motivated towards these factors. And also other factors and the comparison between natural wine producers and non-natural wine producers in Hungary. So natural wine producers believe that their product, so the natural wines, is more desirable, more healthy, and has a good taste or better taste compared to traditional wines. And also they have the resource and time, and often they have the organic vineyard to produce natural wines as well. So they already converted some of their vineyards to organic, or they are totally organic. Yeah. And other interesting factor is the natural wine producers smaller. So the average size of vineyards is around 7.5 hectares. Compared to the traditional one, they have on average more than 20 hectares. The same with turnover. The natural wine producers have lower turnover on average compared to the non-natural wine producers in Hungary. Yes. Okay, so in comparison, natural wine producers are smaller in terms of turnover and revenue compared to non-natural wine producers. They have higher percentage of distribution go on direct sales, so at the seller sales, and the direct-to-consumer sales, and they often charge higher prices for their cheapest wine, but they have lower prices for their most expensive wines compared to the traditional wine producers. They more likely to have organic or biodynamic certification, and less likely to have other different sustainable certification on the product. Okay, and the results, especially for Hungary, so the highest score was attributed to the desirability to produce natural wines. The health aspect was also very high on 1 to 5 scale, and the perception of good taste, because they believe that their wines is more tasty than conventional wines. And also there was a limited factor of encouragement by the industry to produce natural wines. Okay. Yes, so the supportive social environment was also important, and the intention to willingness to produce this product. Okay, so to conclude, the characteristics was they were smaller, they preferred to sell their products directly, they are more organic or biodynamic, they have the supportive environment, the encouragement of other winemakers or industry, and they believe that their products have better taste, and also they have the behavior of and the intention to produce this product and the positive attitude towards these components. So, yes, they charge higher prices for their cheapest product and lower prices for the most expensive products. They often purchase their grapes as well. And this motivation of the natural wine producers are more driven by psychological factors than economic factors. And the question is, on this research, my main question is, what technique to apply? So I have like 88 observation on mixed observation of natural and non-natural wine producers, and maybe I can apply a logistic regression, but if you have any suggestion or technique to apply for this sample, every comment is welcome. Thank you very much.
Any questions for Jeremiás?
Was it clear for you? Okay.
You are a lucky man, you don't have questions.
Okay.
The next one.
Thank you.
That is Jacob.